My beloved child, there are moments when I look at you smiling and yet my heart aches, because behind that smile are messages you have not answered, invitations you tell yourself are just a bit of harmless fun, and steps you are about to take into places I have warned you about many times. I want you to stop right now, for there is someone quietly weaving a snare for you, not with sharp thorns, but with things that seem gentle and warm. Do not wait until tomorrow to obey, my child. A snare never waits for you to recognize it before it snaps shut. It is set the very moment you start saying, "Tomorrow I will listen to God." Do you remember the story of King Saul in the Bible? When he delayed his obedience for just a brief moment, a moment that seemed insignificant, that hesitation cost him my favor, his throne, and my very presence. He thought he could wait a bit, finish what he wanted, and then listen to me. But that bit more became the opening through which the enemy slipped in. The enemy did not come with a shout, but with a whisper. "The Lord will wait, just finish what you're doing." And that was all it took for a kingdom to collapse in a single moment of delay. Do you see? It is not always open rebellion, but delayed obedience that becomes the most silent and deadly blade. Many people think that the inner stirring of conscience is just a fleeting feeling, a vague breath that comes and goes. But my child, I do not speak for you to merely feel, I speak for you to awaken. When your heart is surrounded by too many noises, work, messages, unnecessary relationships, you begin to lose your discernment. You still go to Mass, you still pray, yet your heart no longer hears my voice, because among 1,000 other calls, my voice seems to grow faint, not because I am weak, but because you have allowed your ears to be busy for too long with what is pleasant. And then you say to me, "I didn't mean to, I was just busy." But my child, the true danger is not only great sins, it is the busyness that makes you forget you are slowly drifting away from me. You become so busy that you no longer remember what I have told you. So busy that you do not realize you are being drawn along by things that seem harmless. That is how darkness works. It does not force. It does not shout. It simply lulls you with the comfort of habit. It lets you believe that everything is still fine, that God will wait, that you do not need to change just yet. And then, when you finally wake up, you realize you have been asleep in a gentle dream where I was no longer present. I have watched so many souls lost because of one small thought. I'll deal with it tomorrow. That tomorrow is the door darkness loves most. You assume. My warnings are something you can set aside, that you can wait a little more, that nothing is really serious. But the very moment you think that way, the seed of hardness begins to take root in your heart. It makes you listen without trembling, see without awakening, recognize without acting. You think you still have time, yet in truth, that very time is being taken from your hands, second by second. I do not speak to frighten you, but so you will know this. Every time you delay obedience, you take one more step away from me. And the farther you go, the softer my call seems, the dimmer the light becomes. You will begin to justify yourself, to soothe your heart with very reasonable explanations just so you won't have to change. My child, do not let postponing become the rope that binds your soul, because the enemy does not need you to rebel, it only needs you to hesitate. My child, have you ever realized that the greatest danger is not always in obvious wrongdoing, but in right things that are endlessly delayed? In the very moment you know you should do good but choose to wait a little longer, you are unknowingly closing the door to blessing. I have seen you many times stirred by that gentle prompting within, forgive, let go, come back, and yet you tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. You do not know that every time you say, tomorrow, the light must pause. While darkness takes one more step closer, no storm or thunder is needed. Just a small hesitation is enough for your soul to lose its way. Long ago, In the Acts of the Apostles, there was a man named Felix, a governor. He once listened to Paul preach about righteousness, self-control, and the coming judgment. Paul's words struck his heart and filled him with fear. But instead of opening his heart, he said, "That's enough for now. When it is convenient, I will send for you again." Do you see? Felix did not deny. He simply delayed. Yet that delay cost him the chance of salvation forever. How many times in your life have you done the same, listening, being moved, and then closing the door because it's not convenient yet? You think opportunities will always wait, but grace does not stand still. It flows along the river of obedience, not along the river of hesitation. I understand that at times you do not intentionally reject me. You are simply afraid of losing what you have, afraid of change, afraid that obedience will leave you at a disadvantage. But my child, do you not see? By delaying, you are allowing fear to take the throne in your heart. You wait until you feel ready, yet the human heart is seldom truly ready to let go. I do not ask you to be perfect. I ask you to be honest with the call that is already echoing in your heart. If you know what is right, do not wait for everything to become favorable, because convenience rarely walks hand in hand with obedience. Obedience is stepping into the mist, only to discover that I am standing right there in front of you. Sometimes you confuse discernment with procrastination. You say you need to pray more, think more, wait for more signs, but deep down, your heart already knows. You are simply searching for reasons to avoid facing it. Just like Jonah in days past, I told him to go to Nineveh, yet he chose another direction, not because he did not understand, but because he did not want to confront my will. He thought he could run for a while and wait for me to change my mind, but the more he fled, the more the storm rose, because I could not let a beloved soul drown in its own avoidance. In the end, Jonah only found true peace when he admitted, "Lord, I was wrong." Only then did I command the fish to release him, letting him stand again on the solid ground of my will. Do you see? I have never given up on anyone. I only fear that you will keep waiting for tomorrow to begin what I am asking of you today. At times, you even dress your delay in beautiful clothing, waiting for the right moment, waiting until my heart is at peace, waiting until my work is more stable. But my child, convenience is not the sign of my will, and true peace does not come from everything being calm, but from you standing exactly where I want you to be. There are things I need you to do now, not because I am in a hurry, but because the enemy is not waiting. It does not attack when you are weak, but when you think you are strong. It does not reveal itself openly, but hides beneath a sense of reassurance, making you believe everything is still under control. Yet each time you say, "Not yet," an invisible cord tightens once more around your soul. Therefore, I beg you, stop the moment your heart hears my voice. Do not wait for emotion, do not wait for proof. Just take one step of obedience, and I will take care of the rest. You do not need to understand everything. You only need to trust that I never warn you without reason. Every time I stir your heart, it is because I want to guard you from something lurking ahead. Learn to respond at once, not because I love to command, but because I long for you to be safe. Obedience is not a chain. It is the key that opens the door of grace and sets you free from bonds you cannot yet see. And when you have learned to listen to me in the very moment I call, you will witness something wondrous. All your delays will begin to melt away, and your heart will grow light as breath itself. For obedience is walking in freedom, no longer held back by tomorrow, no longer ruled by fear. Then you will begin to see that it was never I who was slow to bless, but you who were slow to open your hands. Obedience is not merely doing what I say, it is trusting that I know what you need, even when you do not yet understand why. And as you step forward, I will make a way, not always an easy road, but the road that leads to truth, and to peace. For somewhere out there, many tomorrows are still waiting. But I want you to choose today, because today is the day of grace, the very moment the enemy dreads most, when you know how to stop, listen, and follow at once. Today is the beginning of a new journey, where obedience is no longer a burden, but the living proof of love. And once you have tasted that sweetness, I know you will no longer let tomorrow steal the wonder I have already prepared for you. Do you know, my child, not everything that brings you peace comes from me. There are things wrapped in gentleness, sweetness, and comfort that make your soul feel at ease. Yet they are the very bait the darkness uses to draw you away from the light. It does not knock with sin, but with intimacy. It does not shout, but whispers, "This won't hurt, you're just relaxing." And you believe it, because it doesn't look like temptation, it looks like care. But my child, the subtlest trap always wears the face of something good. No one falls into the abyss while trembling in fear. They fall when they feel safe. That day, Eve was never forced to eat the forbidden fruit. She only saw that it was pleasing to the eye, good for food, and desirable. The fall began with what seemed an innocent glance. And you, how many times have you placed yourself among friendly words I told you to avoid, in good relationships, in harmless conversations? Yet it is there that your soul begins to dim. The enemy doesn't need you to sin outright. It only needs you to lower your guard, to forget to pray, to take purity lightly. Then it quietly weaves around you an invisible thread, light as smoke, yet harder to break than chains of iron. I see you sitting there, surrounded by those who make you laugh, but my heart grows heavy. For I know within that laughter lies the seed of misdirection. You say, "They're not bad, they just believe differently." But my child, not everything apart from me is harmless. The devil does not fear sinful souls, it fears awakened ones, so it blurs the lines until you believe you still walk in the light, even as your feet stand in shadow. It won't make you betray me in one night, but over hundreds of nights, through things that seem normal. A playful word, a fleeting look, a small habit, and you drift away. My dear one, do not think yourself strong enough to stand near the edge without falling, nor assume that only grave sins grieve me. Every time you cling to what I have asked you to release, you choose burden over freedom. There are attachments, habits, and emotions that seem innocent, yet they muffle my voice. When I say, "Stay away," it is not because I wish you lonely, but because I see the growing cord behind you. Yet you, out of love, regret, or fear of loss, choose to remain. But true love never pulls a soul away from God, only bondage does that. Remember Samson, the mightiest among Israel. He could break chains, slay lions, defeat thousands, but he fell when his hair rested in the hands of a woman. Delilah wielded no sword, she used sweetness. She did not command, she simply asked, "Do you love me?" And within that tenderness, Samson's strength left him. Do you see, child? The snare never hurts at once, it lulls you to sleep. And when you awaken, the hair of faith has been cut, and the strength of your soul has vanished. That is why I do not ask you to distrust everything, but to discern. Do not let kindness turn into weakness, nor compassion be used to blur truth. When you truly learn to listen to me, you will sense a different kind of stillness, not loud like joy, nor heavy like sorrow, but deep as truth itself. There you will know which voice is mine, and which belongs to the deceiver. You need not fear, for light does not fear darkness. As long as you keep the light within, every chain will fall away on its own. My beloved, I want you to understand, not everything gentle is good. Some things I give so you may rest, others the enemy sets so you may drift. Rise whenever your soul feels lulled to sleep. Stay awake amidst what seems ordinary, for that is where you are most easily lost. And when you awaken, you will see more clearly what I am preparing for you, a path no longer blurred, where you can distinguish every call that does not come from me. For those sweet chords, if left uncut, will draw you farther still, to a place where I can no longer hear your prayers. But I will not let that happen. For I am coming, even amid the harmless whispers, to wake you. Open your eyes, and you will see. The gentlest thing may hide the deepest snare, and the smallest moment may carry my loudest call. There are nights when I watch you beneath the blue glow of your screen, your hands still moving, your heart still beating, yet your soul silent. Not because you no longer believe, but because you are exhausted by the pace of living. Everything around you has become a song without pause, work, messages, meetings, duties, and the endless voices in your mind, all merging into a symphony so loud there is no room for me. I am not angry, but saddened, for you think you are living, while in truth, you are only running. And what pains me most is that you do not even notice how far you've drifted. My child, I never asked you to do less. I only ask that you not lose your heart amidst all you do. When your soul has no space to breathe, even prayer becomes weary air. Many think being distant from God means rebellion or great sin, yet distance often begins with smaller things. A missed morning prayer, a tired night without gratitude, a week too busy for worship. Bit by bit, the thread loosens, until you believe God has grown silent when in truth, it is you who no longer hear. I remember Martha and Mary. When I came to their house, Mary chose to sit at my feet and listen, while Martha busied herself preparing everything. Martha was not wrong, she was serving, doing good. But I looked at her and said, "You are worried and troubled about many things, but only one thing is necessary." Mary chose the better part, the part of presence. Do you see, my child? I do. Not despise work. I only wish you to know. Serving God without being with God is like a dry seed in good soil. Sometimes I simply want you to sit, not to hear me speak, but to let me be near. Yet you are always moving, always hurrying, always striving to finish everything except resting. You live in a world where noise is mistaken for life, and silence for waste. The moment you open your eyes, 1,000 sounds pull at your soul, from alarms to notifications, from bright lights to endless conversations. Each one takes a portion of your heart, and together they leave no space for me. My voice is soft as the morning breeze, but you dwell in a storm. I do not blame you, for I understand, but I long for you to know. Your weariness does not come from work, but from doing much without presence. Without me, even right things feel heavy. With me, even stillness is full of meaning. When your soul is tired, you begin choosing what feels easy over what is true. You avoid prayer because you fear the emptiness it reveals. You flee silence because it exposes what you hide. Yet it is only in silence that I can speak. I do not speak in noise, I whisper in stillness. When you sit, turn off every sound, lay the phone aside, and breathe only breath and me, then you will see. I never left. I am there, in every weary beat of your heart, in every breath you thought was wasted. My beloved, let me teach you to pause. Not to abandon, but to realign, to bring the rhythm of your life back to the rhythm of your soul. Let every morning not only begin work, but begin presence. Let every prayer be not duty, but rest for your spirit. For only when you stop, you can hear, and only when you hear, you will know I am still guiding you. Do not fear silence, my child. It is not emptiness. It is where I speak most clearly. And when you learn to find me amidst the noise, you will see the miracle. Life remains busy, but no longer chaotic. The noise remains, but no longer consumes your soul. You will walk through the world's storms with peace inside, for you know peace does not come from the absence of noise, but from hearing my voice among the many. Then the world will keep turning, yet your heart will stand firm, Life may still be tiring, but your spirit will not despair, for in every motion you have found the unshakable center, and it is me. And then you will understand, when a soul has learned to rest in me, nothing is loud enough to make you lose your way. From there, you will begin to see the next thing. I long to teach you that there are bonds you still cling to, thinking they keep you safe, when in truth, they are only gentle chains. And I will quietly open your eyes to this, like a beam of light slipping through a crack in the door, not to bring things to an end, but to lead you into a new brightness, deeper and truer. There are things you hold on to, not because they are good, but because they are familiar. You keep people, thoughts, and habits close like an old blanket frayed and worn, yet you hesitate to let it go. You call it safety, but what I see in your eyes is fear. Fear of being alone, fear of emptiness, fear of losing what once made you feel needed. But, my child, safety is not found where you are used to standing. It is found where I want you to stand. There are things I ask you to leave behind, not so that you will be deprived, but so that you can truly be free. For real love never imprisons a soul, only attachment does that. Long ago, when Israel left Egypt, I opened the sea so they could pass through, yet their hearts still turned back to what was behind them. They longed for onions, for meat, for their life of slavery because they were familiar with their chains. Do you see? They walked out of Egypt with their feet, but had not yet left Egypt with their hearts. And I see the same struggle in you. You have stepped away from the things I do not desire for you, yet your mind still drifts back there whenever you grow weak. You call it nostalgia, but in truth, it is a rope tugging you backward. It is not that the darkness is too strong. It is that you have not yet dared to walk far enough away. You say, "But I love them. I can't bear to hurt them." I understand, for I too have loved you that way. When you turned away, I still waited. But the difference is this: my love never imprisons, while that attachment is making you smaller and more confined. If a relationship makes you shrink, if it slowly dims your faith, if it muffles my voice within you, then it is no longer love but bondage. Sometimes you think you are the one holding on, but in reality, you are the one being held. You are afraid to lose them, afraid to leave old habits, afraid to step out of what is familiar, but you do not see that right where you fear to depart, grace is already waiting. I see you exhausted from clinging to what no longer belongs to you. You weep and beg me to let you keep it, while I am gently loosening your fingers. I do not wish to take away your joy. I only wish to remove what no longer nourishes your soul. I do not ask you to erase your memories. I only ask you to stop letting those memories rule your present. Sometimes, what you call God's silence is simply me waiting for you to let go. For I cannot fill a vessel that is still crammed full. My child, I can only make new what you are willing to allow to pass away. Once, I told you the story of Abraham and Isaac. When I asked him to offer his son, he did not understand, yet he still walked forward. That was not cruelty, it was a testing of faith. I did not desire to rob him of Isaac. I wanted Abraham to learn to place me above all things, even above what he loved most. And when he raised the knife, I stopped him, for I saw that his heart was ready. In the same way, I do not wish to take away the people you love or the things you cherish. I only want to know that if I ask you to surrender them, you will still believe that I am good. When you dare to place me above even those things you think you cannot live without, then you will see, within what feels like loss lies hidden blessing. My child, I do not reproach you for what you are holding tightly, but I want you to look honestly and ask yourself, are you holding on out of love or out of fear? Some things you keep because they once comforted you, but now they only confine you. Some people you love because they once helped you through pain, but now they keep you from moving forward. I want you to advance, not because you are ungrateful, but because you were created to grow in grace, not to remain forever in a place that only feels safe. Anything that does not come from me will sooner or later leave your soul dry and thirsty. So, my child, let me touch the things you are gripping too tightly. Do not be afraid of losing, for I will not leave your hands empty. Every single thing you release for my sake, I will replace with something better. You may not see it at once, but one day, when you look back, you will understand. What I took away was never greater than what I was preparing to give. Stepping out of your comfort zone is not easy, but if you know whose hand is holding yours, you will no longer fear the fall. And when you dare to leave behind what only seemed safe, I will lead you into deeper places where you no longer live out of memories or fears, but in the light of what is true. Yet before you get there, I want you to look into your own soul and see whether you still carry in your heart old wounds, places where the enemy still whispers, making you forget who you are. For sometimes the strongest chain is not outside of you at all, but lies hidden within your own heart. My child, I see in the depths of your soul wounds that have never been truly touched. You no longer cry, yet the pain still lives quietly and persistently. You say you have forgiven, that you have moved on, but in reality, you have only learned to keep silent. Some scars no longer bleed, yet every time I reach toward them, you pull away. You do not dare to face them because you fear you will collapse all over again. And so you begin to live as a victim of your past, carrying inside you the belief that I abandoned you. But my child, I have never gone anywhere. It is just that while you were fixated on your pain, you forgot to lift your eyes and look up. When you let your wounds lead the way, you start to see everything through the lens of fear. You no longer dare to trust anyone, not even me. You doubt promises because others once promised and then left. You fear loving because you were once betrayed. You find it hard to believe you are chosen because you were once rejected. And the enemy has used those very wounds to whisper in your ear, you are nothing, you are not enough. You will never be healed. Each time you believe that voice, you are giving it permission to speak in my place. It makes you forget one simple truth. You are not a victim, you are the one who has been redeemed. Look again at Scripture and you will see Job, the man who lost everything: wealth, children, health. He was suspected by friends, mocked by his wife, and tortured by suffering. Yet he refused to let his losses define him. He still declared, "Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him." Job was in agony, yet he did not cast blame. He was weak, yet he continued to trust. And it was precisely this faith in the ashes that led to his restoration in double measure. I tell you this not so that you may compare yourself to him, but so that you may know, pain is not the final full stop, but the beginning of rebirth. Only when you dare to look directly at your wounds can I lay my hand upon them and heal. You often think that to be healed, you must forget the past. But no, I do not ask you to forget. I ask you to let me rewrite. A wound does not need to vanish. It needs to be transformed. When I touch it, your old pains are no longer stains of shame, but signs of grace. After the resurrection, Jesus still bore the marks of the nails in his hands, not because he could not erase them, but because he wanted to show you that even wounds can carry glory. My child, I do not come to hide your pain, but to make it the very place where I dwell. Have you ever noticed that these very wounds are also your silent cry? I have allowed you to pass through loss, not to destroy you, but to prepare you. Only souls that have been broken can be gentle enough to lift others up. Only those who have fallen into deep ravines can speak of mercy without pride. You thought I forgot you in your suffering, but in truth I was engraving you on the palms of my hands. Every tear that falls does not go to waste. It waters the seed of a calling you have not yet seen. My beloved child, the time has come for you to rise from fear and step out of the role of the wounded one. You are no longer bound by what others have done, said, or thought about. You belong to me, and no one can take that identity away. You are not the product of your pain. You are the living proof of my grace. Every step you take today is no longer the step of someone broken, but of a warrior bearing the marks of love. You are called not to live in fear, but to bring hope, not to hide, but to shine, not to erase your past, but to use it as a living testimony of my unchanging love. And then, when you truly recognize who you are, you will see that everything that once caused you pain was only preparation for something greater. I have used the storms to forge your wings. I have allowed the darkness to come, not to cover you, but so that the light within you would shine more brightly. When you look back, you will understand. Every loss you ever endured has led you closer to me. Nothing is meaningless in my hands, not even pain. Now you have walked the whole journey I desired for you, from postponement to awakening, from the illusion of safety to the recognition of truth, from fear to peace. And I want you to remember this, what all of heaven already knows: there is no wound that I cannot turn into glory, no soul so lost that I cannot find it. Let me rewrite your story with the ink of love and light, so that from this moment on, every step you take is no longer an act of running away, but an act of coming home. My child, in the storms of life, when every sound around you seems to fade away, when your heart tightens with nameless anxieties, I am still there, not far from you, not silent, not turned away. I still look at you with eyes full of love, like a father patiently watching each step you take, every time you stumble, every tear that falls from your eyes. You are not alone, for in the very moment you think you are most empty is when my arms are holding you the strongest. You are not abandoned, for there is not a single instant in which I forget your breath. Every beat of your heart resounds within me like a living song of the soul into which I have breathed life. You are not weak, for my strength is at work within you. You are the child I have chosen, not by accident, but by a destiny engraved before this world was formed. And because you belong to me, I cannot remain silent when I see you losing your way. I call your name not only with sound, but with the very soul of the universe, where all things still echo the words I speak over you. Beloved child, there are things you are clinging to that I am inviting you to release, not because I want to take from you, but because I want to give you something better. There are relationships you hold on to, thinking they are your safe place, when in truth, they are slowly draining your life, little by little. There are words you have heard that seem harmless, yet they sow seeds of doubt in your mind, weighing your heart down without you knowing why. There are thoughts, plans, and dreams you are pursuing that did not begin in me, and that is why you feel weary and lost, as if you are running endlessly through a desert without finding water. I have not come to condemn you, not to criticize you, but to set you free. I am showing you the invisible cords wrapped around you so that you may recognize them and cut them loose. For true freedom does not come from your struggling and striving, but from the moment you are willing to surrender. My child, I am calling you out of the things that will wound you, choices that appear right yet hide a hidden blade. I am pulling you away from paths where my light does not shine, because I know their end is a chasm of despair. Yet, alongside this warning, I am also opening before you the door of life, a place where true peace dwells, where joy does not depend on circumstances, where your heart can finally find rest. To step into that place, you must say yes, not a tired, half-hearted response, but a yes rising from the depths of your being, where your soul touches absolute trust. You must dare to leave your comfort zone, dare to lose what you cannot keep, in order to receive what can never be taken from you, that is, my eternal love, the life that does not fade, the light that will never go out. The enemy knows well how much you are worth. It trembles at your voice, because your prayers make the darkness tremble. It understands the power hidden in your obedience, a power that can move the very heavens. That is why it never stops attacking, distracting you, making you doubt yourself, persuading you that I have fallen silent. But my child, I have never been silent. I am speaking through all things, through the stillness of the night, through the gentle whisper of the wind, through the beating of your own heart. I have given you everything you need. My word as a sharp sword, cutting through every lie. My Holy Spirit as a blazing fire within you that will never burn out. And my angels encamping around you like an unshakable fortress. You are by no means alone on this battlefield. You are not just a small, fragile spark in a long night. You are the flame I have kindled with my very breath. Darkness may spread, but it cannot put you out. You are my witness, the bearer of light to places that have never yet known hope. You are the poem I have written in love, the melody that rises in the middle of the storm to remind the world that I am still here. You are the soul shaped by my own hands in the secret place, the one chosen to walk through the chaos of life without being swept away. You carry upon yourself my mark, a mark that cannot be erased, for it is engraved with the very light from my heart. My child, listen to me. Do not argue with the warning I have planted in your heart. Do not let the voices of the world drown out the gentle yet powerful voice of the Holy Spirit. Do not let hesitation cause you to miss the moment of a miracle. Many say, tomorrow, yet tomorrow never comes, for the enemy works in the shadows of delay. It sets traps along the path you will walk and sows seeds of doubt at the very moment you grow careless. That is why I come to you now, not tomorrow, not at some other time, but in this very moment, while your soul is still open, while your heart still beats to the rhythm of faith. I awaken you in the middle of the night, not to frighten you, but to rescue you from the unseen cords tightening around your soul. I speak to you through the fire within, through the breath in your dreams, through the light that pierces the veil of darkness. I do not stop, because my love does not grow tired. I will speak until you hear. I will knock until the door of your heart opens. I will seek until you are safe in my arms. My love is not weak, and my warnings are not empty, for every word I speak carries creative power, the power that can form worlds, and also recreate and restore your soul. You are not lost, and you will not be swallowed by waves of doubt or fear. You are not forgotten, for your name is still being spoken on my lips. I repeat myself, not so that you will believe out of fear, but so that you may know hope is still alive. You will not be forsaken, for even if everyone else walks away, I remain. Even if the whole world forgets you, I still remember every breath you take, every dream you hold, every tear you shed. You belong to me, my beloved child. Forever you belong to me, in a love that does not change, in a light that does not fade, in arms that never let you go. And when you dare to believe, when you step out of the shadows, you will see that every trial was only a covering wrapped around a blessing. Every wound was only a stepping stone to help you understand love more deeply. You will see that I never left you, but was waiting for you to look up and recognize that I have been standing there all along, patient, merciful, and full of grace. My child, step forward, say yes, and believe that nothing can separate you from my love, not the night, not temptation, not any pain. For I have called you by your true name, and once I have called, no one can silence that call. You are mine forever, from this moment and into eternity. My beloved child, be still a little longer, that your soul may rest in the breath of my presence. Everything I speak is not only for your ears to hear, but for your heart to feel, because my words are not merely human language. They are the heartbeat of the heavenly heart, reaching out to your small and tender heart. You are not merely reading a passage of text. You are standing in a moment where heaven and earth meet, where light touches darkness, where my call echoes through every deep layer of your spirit. My child, do you know that I see everything within you, the tears you hide, the smiles you force, the nights you sit in silence, searching for meaning in your trials? I know, because my eyes have never left you. Every moment you think you have been forgotten is in fact when I have been quietly keeping you from the abyss. The enemy has laid before you. I speak to you, not to frighten you, but to redeem you, to remind you that the light is still waiting at the end of your road, no matter how thick the night may seem. Your enemy is not necessarily loud, does not roar, and does not come in the form of a terrifying demon as you imagine. It comes softly, like a passing thought, like a piece of advice that seems reasonable, like a feeling of comfort that makes you temporarily forget the call of truth. It smiles and pretends to be your friend, but its heart is full of schemes. It knows you have been marked by my blood, so it cannot tear you apart with violence. It can only lull you to sleep with small compromises. It begins with a nod, with a permission that seems harmless, and little by little it binds your soul with chains of complacency and forgetfulness of my word. My child, that is why I call you to be awake. Do not let the light within you be covered by things that seem ordinary. Look closely, for every choice you make carries weight. Even a small word can shake heaven and earth. Even a quiet thought can open or close the gates of heaven within your heart. Do not despise the power of your choices. When you say yes to what belongs to me, my angels move. When you say yes to what is not of me, the darkness also quietly rejoices. Therefore you must learn to listen, not only with your ears, but with your soul. I am never silent. It is only that you have not yet become still enough to hear. I am still speaking in the gentle wind, in the song of the birds at dawn, in the eyes of the one you love, and even in the tears you shed when you are alone. All of these are my language. I am teaching you discernment, not to make you afraid of being wrong, but to help you live wisely, to know what comes from the light and what comes from the darkness. I do not tell you to withdraw from the world. I teach you to walk in the midst of it with a heart that belongs to heaven. When you learn to pause and ask me, that is the very moment you are practicing faith. You do not need to know everything. You only need to trust that I know. You do not need to see everything. You only need to trust that I am lighting your path. Let my Holy Spirit be the lamp for your mind. When you pray, do not seek only answers. Seek me, for I myself am the answer. You will see that in the times when you thought I was silent, I was in fact speaking louder than ever, through waiting, through trials, through things you could not understand in that moment. But in the end, everything I do is so that you may become stronger, clearer in vision, and closer to me. My child, I know there are moments when you are tired and you want to give up. I know you ask why you must walk the narrow way when so many others choose the wide road that seems happier. But my child, the path I lead you on is not the path of the crowd. It is a journey designed uniquely for your soul, to train your faithfulness, to refine your true nature within, to teach you that every true victory is born from surrender to me. The enemy wants you to doubt yourself, to believe that you are not enough, not worthy, nothing special. But I tell you this, you are the breath I have given, you are my image. You are the precious jewel in the hand of the Creator. You cannot lose your value just because you stumble, for your worth does not come from being perfect, but from belonging to me. Every time you return, heaven rejoices. Every time you admit your weakness, I draw nearer to you. The smaller you become, the greater I become in you. This is what the enemy fears most. It is not afraid of your weakness. It is afraid of you knowing you are weak yet still leaning on me. It is not afraid of your falls. It is afraid of you rising again with the conviction that my grace is sufficient for you. Therefore, do not let its voice drown out my words. Do not let old sins or painful memories convince you that I have abandoned you. No, my child, I have never been far from you. not even for a single breath. Even when you turned your back on me, I walked behind you, waiting for you to look back. I do not see you through the lens of your failures. I see you through the lens of my love. My eyes do not dwell on your scars. I see instead the journey by which you are being healed. You are the evidence of my mercy, and I will not allow the story of your life to end in fear. I am writing a new chapter where you will learn to walk in the light, to speak in truth, and to live in love. Believe that I am turning all your sorrow into a new dawn. You will see that from the ashes, seeds of hope will begin to sprout. From your losses, you will discover a deeper purpose. From your tears, I will bring forth a refreshing stream to water other parched souls. This is how I work. I turn what seems useless into something great. You need only place what is small in my hands, and I will use it to accomplish what is vast. So do not be afraid. Do not look at the storm. Look at me, the one holding your hand in the raging waves. Though the waters rise, you will not drown. Though the flames blaze, you will not be burned. For I am in you, and you are in me. My love is your shield, your refuge, and your strength, enabling you to stand firm even when the whole world trembles. My child, remember this. You are not called merely to survive. You are called to shine. You were not born just to pass through life quietly and safely, but to carry my light into the darkest places. Dare to live differently. Dare to love even when others hate. Dare to forgive even when others do not understand. For in these very things I am glorified through you. And as you walk in that light, the enemy will tremble, for it cannot touch a soul that is ablaze with true love. Rise up, my child, for the time has come. Let the courage within you awaken. Let faith become your wings. Let my voice guide each step. You will see that I am not asking you to do something beyond your strength. I am awakening the greatness that has been within you since the beginning. You are my workmanship, created to overcome, to love, and to shine. And I will be with you, from now and forevermore. My beloved child, you are walking through a season in which everything seems to be turned upside down, as I begin to separate you from the things you once clung to and considered safe. This setting apart is not a punishment, it is the beginning of a new journey, a journey of transformation in which you are being shaped to become more like me. I know it is not easy for you to step away from people, places, and habits that you once cherished. But my child, do not think that I am taking from you, for I never remove anything without the intention of giving you something better. Every time I say, that is enough, or it is time to leave, I am protecting you from what could hold you back, from what no longer fits the mission and calling I have given you. From the very beginning, I know that sometimes your heart feels empty and alone when doors close, when relationships fade, when nothing is as it used to be. But my child, the loneliness I allow is not to cast you into darkness, but to teach you to find your light in me alone. I did not create you to blend in with the world, but to become a torch burning in the night. That is why I must set you apart, so that the light in you will not be diluted, and so you can shine in the purity and true power of the Holy Spirit. Do you remember the times I have rescued you? When you thought you had lost everything, I opened a way no one could have imagined. When you were drowning in tears, I dried them and strengthened you to stand again. When everyone else said no, I opened a greater yes than you expected. When you did not know you were surrounded by traps, it was I who quietly broke them before they could harm you. You have already witnessed my power and my mercy, so why are you afraid when I continue to act? You must believe that the same hand that covered you then is still here now, still holding you, still leading you through every trial. I do not change. My love does not change. My purpose for you never changes, no matter how the circumstances around you shift. You must remember that the enemy's plans can never surpass my plans. It can threaten you, it can confuse you, but it cannot steal what I have ordained. Its snares are only illusions when you stand in my truth. Its darkness cannot cover the light I have placed in you. Therefore, do not let fear take hold of your heart. Do not let panic overshadow your faith. Do not run away, for I have never left you. As long as you stay close to me, everything will lose its power to harm you. If you remain in my presence, the trap will shatter before you reach it. The storm will dissolve before it touches you, and your feet will stand firm even when the ground beneath you shakes. The only thing I ask of you is obedience. Obedience is not weakness, it is the proof of deep trust. Through obedience, you place your path into my hands, and that is when you are truly safe. My child, do not be afraid when I ask you to let go. Letting go is not loss, but the act of one who believes that I have something better waiting ahead. You cannot take hold of new blessings if you still cling tightly to what is old. I need you to trust that everything I do carries a good and loving purpose, even when you do not yet understand it in this moment. Like a potter kneading the clay, I am shaping your soul, sometimes through pressure, through silence, through circumstances that make you feel as though you have been forsaken. Yet it is precisely in those moments that I am engraving upon you my own image, enduring, beautiful, and radiant. Do not let the noise of this world make you forget my gentle voice. In the silence, I am speaking. In the darkness, I am guiding your steps. In every trial, I am teaching you to mature. I know you are weary, but look back on the road along which I have led you. Every tear you have shed, every time you stumbled, every pain you endured has never been meaningless. They have taught you to love more deeply, to forgive, to trust, and to live in grace. You are no longer the person you once were, for I am renewing you day by day. And you will come to understand that it was precisely those seasons of loneliness, those times when you felt forgotten, that were the very moments I was working most powerfully. I do not want you merely to survive. I want you to live abundantly, overflowing with strength and with faith. You were not born to live an ordinary life. You were destined to bear witness to the extraordinary, the very things that only I can accomplish through you. My child, do not compare yourself with others. They may be walking on different paths, but your journey is uniquely your own. I do not need you to be faster than anyone else. I only desire that you walk in the right direction, the direction that leads to me. Every step of obedience, no matter how small, brings you closer to the purpose I have prepared for you. And when you draw near to me, you will begin to see all things more clearly. I will show you when to move forward, when to stop, and when to wait. I will show you that every no I once spoke was not rejection, but protection. I never take away your true joy. I only remove what might keep you from the fullness of joy. One day, when you look back, you will understand why I led you through seasons of separation, why I allowed you to lose certain things. You will realize that this very separation was preparation for glory. You will see that every door that closed was to open a better door, that everything you were compelled to let go of was so you could receive what is truly worthy of you. You will know that there was not a single moment when I left you, even when you could not feel me. I was still there, still covering you, still waiting for you to trust me completely. When you understand this, you will find a strange and deep peace. You will smile in the midst of storms. You will give thanks, even with tears in your eyes. For you will know that I, the one who began this work in you, will be faithful to complete it to the very end. Therefore, my child, do not fear separation. Do not fear the times when I tell you to stop or to turn away. Every step of being set apart is a step closer to holiness, an opportunity for you to become stronger and to shine more brightly in my glory. Keep walking, even when you cannot see the whole road, simply knowing that I go before you, preparing everything in advance. And the day will come when you will look back and say, "Thank you, Lord, for setting me apart so that I may belong wholly to you, so that I may become exactly who you intended me to be." My beloved child, deep within your soul, there still resounds a call that you cannot ignore. That call is not a sound that comes from this world, but the heartbeat of the very destiny I inscribed within you from the beginning. It is not loud or noisy, but strong like an underground spring flowing beneath dry and hardened rock, quietly moving, quietly nourishing life. It is the call of mission, of love, of the light I have placed within your heart. That is why the darkness tries in every way to hinder you, to make you doubt yourself, to make you forget that you were not born merely to exist, but to shine, to bring the breath of life to this world. You are not a nameless soul drifting along the hurried currents of life. You are one who has been chosen, sent, and covered by my power and my love. Every step you take, every word you speak, every tear you shed carries a meaning far beyond your understanding. You are a bridge between heaven and earth, a bearer of hope to souls who long to find the light again. You are called to stand amidst the ashes of sorrow and speak words of life, to touch shattered hearts and rekindle in them the flame of faith that has long been extinguished. But my child, this calling is not easy, for light is always tested in darkness. It is precisely because you carry eternal value within you that the enemy never ceases to fight against you. Each time you rise, it tries to pull you down. Each time you want to move forward, it sows fear, doubt, and a sense of helplessness into your heart. It wants you to forget who is the one who has called you. It wants you to believe that you are weak, small, and insignificant in the midst of countless trials. But my child, never believe that lie. For it is in your weakness that I reveal my great power. When you are weary, I am your resting place. When you are lost, I am the light that leads you. When you fall, it is my hand that lifts you up. There is no night so long when I am your dawn. There is no battle so fierce when your hand is holding mine. Remember, every wound you carry, every tear you cry is not meaningless. They stand as witnesses to a journey of growth, to an inner strength being forged, to a faith becoming more steadfast through each trial. My child, there will be times when you feel alone in endless nights, as though your prayers are swallowed up in silence. But I am still there, in every breath you take, in every quiet moment that seems empty to you. It is in the stillness that I speak to you. It is in suffering that I teach you to love more deeply. It is in loss that you learn to cherish the small things you once ignored. And it is in despair that I kindle within you the candle of hope, a candle that no storm can extinguish. Do not think that I have forgotten you when you are wounded. In truth, I am using those very circumstances to refine you into someone stronger and purer. You are like a seed buried deep within the earth, seemingly hidden and forgotten, yet in reality being nurtured for a season of blossoming that is soon to come. My child, your calling is not only to live well for yourself, but to live as a light for others. You will be a voice for those who no longer dare to speak, hands that lift up souls who have collapsed, one who stands in the gap where no one else dares to stand. You will bring freedom to hearts chained by sin, fear, and pain. For the light within you is not your own, it is my light, placed in you to shine upon the world. And when you shine, the darkness must retreat. When you speak words of life, spiritual death trembles. When you pray, heaven listens and my power moves. You are an instrument in my hand, not perfect, but chosen, not strong in yourself, but anointed with strength from on high. I know you will still have many moments of doubting yourself, many times when you want to stop because of weariness. There will be times you ask why I chose you when so many others seem more worthy. But my child, I did not choose you because you are perfect. I chose you because your heart is willing, I am not looking for the strong. I am looking for those who know how to lean on me, for it is in humility and trust that I can work wonders. You do not need to strive to become someone else. You only need to grow into the person I created you to be. One who bears love, one who sows life, one who walks in the light. And when you step into the battle, remember that you are not alone. My hand is always upon your shoulder. My eyes watch over every step you take, and my angels surround you like walls of protection. When the enemy sets a snare, I have already seen it. When you face a dead end, I have already opened a way before you. Nothing happens outside of my permission, and everything, whether good or bad, can become beneficial for your soul if you place your trust in me. Do not be afraid, for fear only makes you forget who is the one living in you. Do not hesitate, for delay causes you to miss the miracles already prepared. Do not doubt, for faith is the key that opens the door of life. My beloved child, I have gone before you into tomorrow. Every turning, every step you take lies within my gracious plan. There is no such thing as chance on your journey, only appointments arranged so that you may recognize that I am still at work. Each time you think you have lost your way, in truth I am only leading you along another path, one at the end of which you will see more clearly the purpose of your life. Trust me, for I am faithful. Walk on, for with every step you take, my footprints are beside you. Love, for love is the greatest power that shatters every chain of fear. My child, do not let the past bind the present, and do not let worries about the future steal the joy of today. You are in my hand, and that hand has never loosened its hold. I love you not because of what you can do, but because you are my child. That love does not change, does not fade, and does not depend on your emotions. When you trust me, I make the impossible become possible. When you surrender to me, I turn trials into opportunities. When you allow me to lead you, you will see that every storm is only a step bringing you closer to the light. Now, my child, stand up. Wipe away your tears and lift your head high, for before you lies the road of life, of hope, and of glory. I am calling you not to return to the former place, but to step into a new journey, where faith is strengthened and where you become a light for many. Walk on, hesitate no longer, for I, the one who began the good work in you, am also the one who will bring it to completion in glory. This is my word for you today. Do not fear, do not doubt, only believe. For you do not simply live for yourself, you live to reveal me in this world. And when you do that, the world will know that the true light is still shining through the life of one who dares to believe, dares to love, and dares to live for the sacred mission I have entrusted to you. Tonight, I draw near to you as never before, like a gentle breeze passing over your tired soul, like a soft, warm light slipping through the thick darkness of the night. I see within your heart those silent, empty spaces where fear, anxiety, and loneliness still quietly dwell. You have tried to be strong for so long, tried to wear a smile while storms raged inside, tried to keep walking even when your legs have grown weary. But tonight you no longer need to brace yourself, for I am here, sitting beside you in the stillness, pouring into you a new stream of courage, not a courage that comes from human strength, but from the life of heaven, from the heart of unconditional love of the one who formed you. This courage is not noisy, not rushed. It is like a warm stream spreading through your heart, dispelling the shadows of fear so that you may realize you have never been alone, not even for a single moment in this life. I am gently lifting away the mists that have settled around your mind, the vague thoughts, the voices that leave you confused, the old memories you still try to hold on to. You no longer need to grope your way through the darkness of doubt, for my light is shining into the hidden corners you are afraid to face. Every tangled strand of chaos I am loosening, every knot of pain I am untying. You will feel your soul grow lighter, as though a burden of many years were being taken off your shoulders. I am opening within you new eyes, eyes that can see beyond the pain, that can see the meaning hidden deep within the trials, that can see my hand, still weaving goodness from fragments that seemed hopelessly broken. You will no longer walk in confusion, for I will show you which path you need to take, which voices you should ignore, which doors must be closed, and which people have reached the time to leave. I do not take anything from you without giving you something better in its place. Every parting is the beginning of a new journey, and you will come to see that in every loss I have been quietly arranging things to bring you closer to your true purpose. When you listen to my voice, you will know which way leads to peace. That peace is not the mere quietness of outward circumstances, but an inner steadiness, a certainty that even when storms come, you are still being held in my arms. My Holy Spirit within you will rise like a river that does not run dry, that keeps on flowing, sweeping away fears, washing every stain, and bringing new life. That water will seep into every crack of your soul, soothing pain and watering the seeds of faith. You will sense my peace like a passing breeze, yet strong enough to lift you up from the depths. When danger draws near, you will hear within your heart a gentle whisper that is I myself, shielding you from what you do not yet see. I will not let you wander through the night without light. My light will go before you, even if it only illumines the next step. And with me, one step is enough for you to move forward. My child, you belong to me. Before you knew me, I already knew you. Before you called my name, I had already called you by your own. You were bought at a very great price, the price of love, the price of sacrifice, the price of blood shed for you. You have been sealed with my name, marked by the Holy Spirit, hidden in my hand where no one can reach. No power can snatch you from my hand, no curse can destroy the blessing I have spoken over you. No force can overturn the good I am working in your life. You are mine, forever mine, and nothing can change that. Therefore, rise up, my child. Do not let lies continue to weigh down your soul. Shake off the chains of sin, the shackles of fear, the accusations that no longer have any right over you. You are not a failure. You are the living testimony of my victory. Lift up your eyes, for I am your Father, your shield, who protects you from every missile of darkness. I am the one who saves you, your safe refuge, the way that leads you out of the maze, the truth that helps you stand firm in an ocean of deceit, and the life that flows within you and never runs dry. Keep listening to me. Do not let your heart wander while I am speaking. My voice is not loud, not resounding like thunder, but gentle as the wind, yet powerful enough to stir the depths of your heart. Every word I speak is a sacred seed. If you let it fall deep into your heart, it will take root, grow up, and shelter you from the storms of life. Do not try to understand everything in this one night, for there are things that only become clear with time. You do not need to settle everything. You only need to believe. Believe that the one who is speaking to you is the one who has already seen all things, the one who knows the end of the road from the very beginning. I know what awaits you ahead. I know even the dangers that have not yet appeared. But my child, be at peace, for I have gone before you to prepare the way. I stand behind you to guard you, and I am beside you to uphold you. There is not a single moment in which you take a step without my footprints close by. You will be safe as long as you remain with me, for my love does not waver, my grace does not run dry, and my promises never fail. You are the work that I am perfecting, and each day you live is another brushstroke in the marvelous masterpiece I am creating. Therefore, do not be afraid anymore, do not doubt anymore. Let your heart rest in my peace. Let me be the breath in your chest, the rhythm in your heart, the light that shines upon your soul. No matter how long this night may seem, no matter how thick the darkness may grow, my light will not be extinguished. Dawn will come, and you will find yourself reborn, renewed, resurrected in my love. You will walk no longer weighed down by the past, but filled with faith and hope. You will come to know that every trial is not meant to destroy you, but to shape you, to become steadier, stronger, and able to carry light into the world. Remember this: I did not choose you because you are perfect. I chose you because you are loved, and it is this very love that will transform you, heal you, and make you shine like a precious gem refined in the fire. Do not be afraid, my child, for my hand is still holding tightly onto you. Wherever you go, I remain the place where you belong. And when the world falls silent, when everyone turns their back on you, you will still hear my gentle voice whisper, "My child, be at peace, for I am still here, my beloved." When you learn to look at yourself through my eyes, you will see a profound truth that the world can never give you. In you I do not see a broken soul or a shattered heart, but a flame being forged in the midst of the storm. Every wound, every fall is not a final full stop, but the beginning of a new chapter in the journey I am leading you through. You were not created by accident, nor thrown into a meaningless current of life. You are the crystallization of a divine intention, the living testimony of my love and boundless power. In my hands, all that seems ruined can be made new again. Every loss can be filled to overflowing with grace. You are light in the night, the proof that hope still remains, no matter how many times the world denies it. Remember, when darkness closes in, it is not a sign that you have been abandoned, but an opportunity for the light within you to shine more brightly than ever before. I allow the night to linger not to snuff you out, but to teach you how to shine in the fog, so that when dawn comes, the light you carry will spread everywhere, helping others find faith within themselves. When I ask you to let go, it is not a punishment, but a preparation. There are things you still cling to out of fear, thinking that if you lose them, you will be empty. But oh my child, it is only when you dare to open your hands that you can receive the greater things I have already prepared for you. Some people leave your life not because you are wrong, but because their journey with you has reached its completion. Some doors close not because I have forgotten you, but because behind them lies a narrow path of glory that only you can walk. You must believe that every loss carries within it the seed of gain. When I prune a dead branch, it is so that new shoots have room to grow. When I allow a part of your life to die, it is so you may learn what true life really is. Let your tears water the seeds of new hope, so that one day, when you look back, you will see that you have blossomed precisely from the very things that once caused you pain. There will be times when you are lonely. That is something no one can escape. Obedience always has a price. When you choose to step out from the crowd, when you say no to what everyone else says yes to, you will feel the doubtful glances, hear the whispers behind your back. But do not let your heart be shaken, for they do not see what I am showing you. They do not hear the quiet calling I am whispering in your heart. They see only the present, but I am revealing to you the future. When you remain faithful, I will make a way for you, even as you walk through a barren desert. When you endure in silence, I am quietly weaving for you a robe of glory. One day, all misunderstandings will fade, every slander will fall silent, and the light shining from you will become a living testimony that whoever trusts in me will never be put to shame. My child, stillness is not a sign of being forgotten. When I am silent, it does not mean I am far from you. Like a potter, once the shaping is done, I place you into the fire to be completed. In that fire, I do not speak much, for now it is the flame itself that will teach you the lessons words cannot. Allow me to train you in the quiet. Believe that when you feel as though you are melting away, that is precisely when you are being reshaped into a new form, stronger, humbler, and more radiant. Do not fear the silence, for in it I am still at work. Do not fear the darkness, for I myself am the hidden light within it. I do not promise that you will never cry, but I promise that your tears will never be wasted. I do not promise that the road will be smooth, but I promise that your feet will be kept. I do not promise that you will always understand what I am doing, but I promise that everything I do is for your good. When you learn to trust even when you cannot see, you have touched true faith, the kind of faith that parts seas and moves mountains. Remember, faith is not a feeling, it is a choice. And when you choose to trust in me, you are allowing me to work mightily in your life. You will come to realize that what seems like loss is actually a release. When I take something away from you, I do not leave you empty. I make room for new blessings. Just as a tree must be pruned in order to bloom, you too must be refined so that you may bear eternal fruit. Look at my hands, the very hands that lifted you up when you fell, that wiped away your tears when you were hurting. Those hands will never push you away. They are carefully molding you, sometimes painfully, but always out of love. Let that love define you, not the words of the world. Do not live to be accepted by everyone, for when you strive to please the world, you will lose the call of heaven. Remember, you were not born to blend in, but to be set apart. Light does not fear the darkness, it exists to shine into it. When you live in truth and obedience, you are teaching others what living faith looks like. You are the evidence that my love is still moving among humankind. When you forgive instead of taking revenge, when you choose to love even while wounded, you become a mirror reflecting my compassion. And that is precisely why I chose you, not because you are flawless, but because you are willing to let me transform you. Oh, my child, remember that in my kingdom no pain is ever wasted. Every tear, every collapse, every time you choose to stand up again, all of it becomes precious pearls in your crown of glory. I see you when no one else does. I hear your prayers in the dark of night. I know every sigh of your heart. And it is in those very moments that I draw closer to you than ever. Do not measure my love by your feelings, for feelings change, but my love does not. It is deeper than the sea, higher than the sky, and more enduring than time itself. My child, when you choose to trust, you are writing a new story, a story of miracles, faithfulness, and an unfading light. Do not fear being misunderstood, for I am the one who understands you. Do not fear being left behind, for I always walk with you. Do not fear failure, for even failure can become a stepping stone to victory when you place it in my hands. Let your life be a song lifted up to me, a song not only sung with words but with the very way you live, love, endure, and forgive. One day, when you look back on the road you have traveled, you will realize that nothing was meaningless. Every trial was a message, every loss a stepping stone for your growth. You will see that my hand has never once let you go, not even for a single second. I have always been there in your joy and in your tears, in your laughter and in your silence. And when you have learned to see yourself as I see you, you will know that you are no longer a person tossed about by life, but one who is led, no longer a victim, but a victor. For within you I have placed my very own power, and no force can extinguish it. So then, my child, keep walking, even when you cannot yet see the road clearly. Hold fast to your faith, even when the winds of doubt blow fiercely. Stand firm, for I am your unshakable foundation. Love, even when your love is not returned. Forgive, even when others show no remorse. Obey, even when it costs you something. For I see it all, and I will reward you, not only in this life, but in the life to come. You are the workmanship of grace, the poem I am writing in the midst of a tumultuous world, the living proof that light always triumphs over darkness. And when you live in that truth, the world will come to know me through you. My beloved child, in every fragile breath you take, I am still at work in you, doing a wondrous work, the work of healing that only true love can accomplish. I am not only touching the wounds you can see, but I am also gently reaching into the hidden places, the secret corners you yourself have been afraid to look at, the wounds of betrayal, of words that cut you, of being forgotten and shamed. All those things once made you believe you were no longer worthy of love. But I tell you this, none of those wounds are the final full stop. They are doors leading you into a deeper understanding of my love, a love that sees your pain and still opens its arms wide to receive you. You have heard the whispers of the enemy, the voice that sows doubt in your heart about who you are, making you think you have been abandoned, that you are not enough, that you do not deserve to be loved. But my child, those are only lies. The enemy always exploits your weakness, the empty spaces in your heart, to plant seeds of fear and shame. It makes you look at your past and see only failure, look at your present and see only lack, look at your future and see only darkness. Yet I am telling you now, my light is greater than any darkness you have ever walked through. My love goes deeper than any wound you have ever carried, and my truth is stronger than every lie the enemy has ever spoken over your mind. I do not only desire to mend you, I desire to turn those very wounds into places of radiance. When I pour oil upon your wounds, it is not only an act of healing, but also a sign that you are being set apart for a greater purpose. You are not rejected, you are chosen. Not because you are perfect, but because in your weakness I can reveal my perfect power. You are not abandoned, you are being carried in my arms where nothing can separate you from my everlasting love. You are not broken beyond repair, for it is precisely in that brokenness that I am rebuilding you, more steady, more resilient, and more filled with grace than ever before. I am drawing you close, not to rebuke you, but to hold you, to wipe away your tears, and to whisper to you, you belong to me. Let my love seep deep into you like a stream flowing into the dry cracks of your soul. Let my voice resound louder than the painful memories you have tried so hard to forget. Every time you are afraid, remember that I have gone before you. Every time you worry about the future, remember that I hold tomorrow in my hands. Every time you are confused at the crossroads, remember that my hand is guiding you, step by step, never in haste, but always with certainty. You do not need to know everything that is coming, because I, the one who loves you, already know and have prepared a path of peace for you. Do not let lies convince you that you are alone on this journey. You are surrounded by love, covered by grace, and guarded by my power. Whether you walk through shadows or stand in the midst of storms, nothing ever escapes my sight. I see your tears, I hear your sighs, and I am working in the very places you cannot see. When you feel weak, remember that my spirit is within you, giving you strength that rises above your weariness. When your mind feels clouded, my wisdom will shine like a lamp to guide your steps. When you feel lost, my hand will take yours and never let go. I do not promise that there will be no difficulties, but I do promise that you will never have to walk through them alone. I will be there, in every decision, every moment, every heartbeat. And right in those times when you feel the most fragile, you will discover that my grace is sufficient for you, and my strength is made perfect in your weakness. My child, do not fear what you do not yet know, for nothing is unfamiliar to me. Every wind you have not yet felt, I already know its direction. Every day that has not yet come, I have already placed grace there for you. The enemy wants you to look at the future through the eyes of fear, but I invite you to look through the eyes of faith. Faith that I am in control of all things. Faith that everything that happens is being woven into a more beautiful story for you. Sometimes I allow you to walk through trials, not to harm you, but to break the chains that have bound you to fear and insecurity. I want you to understand that you are not the sum of your wounds, but a masterpiece being restored by my own hands. Every crack, every hurt, when touched by me, will reflect my light, like a broken vessel mended with gold. becoming more precious than ever before. Let me rewrite your story, not with the ink of the past, but with the light of hope. Let me lift from you the burden you have carried for so long, the burden of regret, of mistakes, of things you cannot change. For when you place them in my hands, I turn them into lessons, into wisdom, into stepping stones for your next steps. Do not measure yourself by what you have lost, but look at what I am restoring. I will not only return what you thought had vanished, but I will give you even more peace, joy, and a new sense of purpose. My dear child, when the storm rises within your heart, come back to me, the place of peace. Do not run from your pain, for when you face it with me, you will see that it no longer has power over you. It becomes only a reminder that you were once hurt, but now you are being healed. And as you learn to love yourself within my love, you will begin to see others through the eyes of compassion. You will become a bearer of healing, one who can touch bleeding souls with the same tenderness with which I once touched you. You are no longer who you once were. Your wounds no longer define you. My love in you does. Stand up, take a deep breath, and feel my warmth covering you. A new day is dawning, and you are not walking into it alone. You carry within you a flame, the flame of life, of hope, of unshakable faith. Though the world may change, though darkness may thicken, the light within you will not go out, for its source is me, the one who is a light that never fades. So then, my child, believe. Let your heart find rest in my embrace. Let every worry dissolve in the breath of my presence. Walk not in fear, but in the steady confidence of one who knows they are loved unconditionally. The future is no longer something to dread, because I am already there, waiting to welcome you with a gentle smile. Every step you take will be a testimony that my love is stronger than any darkness. You are healed, you are chosen, you are loved, not because you have earned it, but because I decided it would be so before the foundations of the world. And now, let your heart open like a door welcoming the dawn of grace. Let that light flood in, illuminating every hidden corner, driving away every fear, every lie. You will come to know that true healing is not merely the erasing of pain, but the discovery of meaning within that very pain. I am making all things new within you, and you will see, day by day, hour by hour, that everything I have promised is true. You are loved, and nothing, no one, no power anywhere can separate you from that love. My child, when you dare to obey, all of heaven begins to move. Doors you once thought were permanently shut will begin to open, gently yet surely, as if heaven itself had long been waiting for that very moment. Every step you take in obedience is a touch upon the plan I have ordained, and there you will see not just one, but countless doors of blessing swinging wide. The door of favor, where I give you what you could never attain on your own, where opportunities that once seemed far beyond your reach suddenly appear like miracles. The door of wisdom, where your mind is illuminated by heavenly light so that you can discern what is true and false, what is right and not right, what is merely good and what is best. The door of peace, where you find rest in the midst of the storm, where your soul no longer has to wrestle with anxiety, where you learn to breathe in the stillness of my presence. The door of influence, where your words carry weight in the hearts of others, where the light within you shines into the darkest places. And the door of protection, where every scheme of the enemy is rendered powerless, where every curse dissolves before the power of my covenant. These doors, my beloved, are not traps and not deceptive illusions, but answers nurtured from your very tears, from the prayers you whispered in solitude. They are the reward of obedience, the living proof that I never forget a single word you speak in faith. But understand this, my child, every true door is bound to obedience. Each time you say yes in the dark, you are aligning your soul with the great purpose I have prepared. When you choose to let go of the trap gilded on the outside, you are with your own hands opening the treasure that is real. When you refuse what is counterfeit, what looks beautiful for a moment yet is empty in its essence, you are making room for what is genuine, what carries the breath of life. When you dare to close the wrong door, the right one will not only open but swing wide, so that my light can flood every corner of your soul. That is the moment I behold you, and heaven smiles. My child, pause for a moment. Breathe in my presence. Breathe in the peace I give, a peace no one can steal and no circumstance can shatter. Breathe out fear. Breathe out the burdens. Breathe out the murmuring voices of doubt that still whisper in your mind. Breathe in my courage, a bravery not based on physical strength, but born of fearless love. Breathe out the restlessness that keeps holding you back. Breathe in my love, a love so pure and complete that no wound can ever dim. Breathe out your shame, for I have never been ashamed to call you mine. Here, in my arms, you are safe. No arrow can reach you, no accusation can pierce the covering of grace. You are heard, not as a faint voice among millions of cries, but as the single sound I am waiting for. You are known, not as one face in the crowd, but as the one whose name I have engraved on the palms of my hands. You are loved, not because you are perfect, but because I am love. Under the shadow of my wings, you are hidden away, wrapped in the light of my presence. No curse can cling to your soul, for my blood has spoken better things over your life. My covenant is the shield encircling you, and my spirit is the strength rising up within you, driving back every weakness and fear. My child, tonight I have come not only to warn you, but to equip you. I am not merely pointing out the dangers. I am placing in your hands the tools to overcome. I am giving you eyes of discernment so you can see what lies behind the outer shell. I am giving you courage so that you can stand firm when others shrink back. I am giving you clarity so you are no longer confused at the crossroads. I am giving you wisdom so that every decision you make becomes a step along the path of blessing. I am giving you strength, not to dominate, but to remain steadfast. And I am giving you boldness so that you not only live, but walk with the dignity of one who knows exactly where they belong. You will recognize before evil comes near. Before your foot can step into the trap, my spirit will whisper within you and cause you to stop. Before you say yes to what is deceitful, you will feel a heaviness in your heart. That is the warning I give. You will see through the counterfeit before it can cover the truth. You will sense the confirmation of my peace like a cool, gentle breeze touching your soul when you walk in the right direction. My voice will whisper inside you, not loud, not forcing you, but gentle and sure, guiding you through each small step. And when pressure comes, when fierce winds blow, you will not be swept away. You will stand firm, not by your own strength, but because I am the foundation beneath your feet. You will not be shaken, for your roots have sunk deep into my unchanging love. You will not be deceived, for my light within you will expose every shadow. You will not stagger, for I myself am the pillar holding you upright in the storm. You will stand, you will shine, you will sing, even in the darkest night. And when dawn comes, you will realize that every act of obedience, even the smallest, has borne great fruit. You will look back and see that in the very moment you chose to say, yes, all of heaven moved. All that seemed to be an ending was only the beginning of new chapters filled with light. You will see my hand in every detail, my breath in everything you touch, and my love in all that you become. Because you chose to believe, to listen, to walk forward, you will never be lost. You will no longer be one who merely follows the light. You yourself will become a light in the night. And I, the one who calls you, will always be here, not distant, not silent, not changing, waiting for each heartbeat of your obedience to continue writing the wondrous story between you and me. a story no power on earth can ever stop. My beloved child, you are now in a season where your heart feels stretched between what you have known and what you have never yet experienced. I understand that feeling, when you no longer find comfort in what was once familiar, when those who used to walk beside you slowly drift away, and when the places that once brought you peace now feel like empty silence. But it is precisely in this time that I am working deep within your soul. I am pruning the branches that bear no fruit, removing what no longer belongs to you, so that true life can flow from your roots more purely and powerfully than ever before. You may feel pain as I set you apart, but that pain is necessary for your growth, for you to learn to place your trust not in people or circumstances, but in me alone, the one who never changes. There are people I place in your life only to walk with you for a stretch of the road, to teach you a lesson, to open up a new perspective. When they leave, it is not because I have forgotten my promise, but because they have finished their part. If you insist on holding on, you will only cling to what has already expired. I do not take anyone away without reason, and I never allow you to lose without also giving back. I know you long for companionship, but there are portions of the journey that can only be walked alone, not because I want you isolated, but because I want you to hear my voice without it being drowned out by the voices of others. It is in the stillness that you come to know deeply that I am enough for you. When there is no one left for you to lean on, you will discover the strength of resting your head on my shoulder and realize that my love has never left you, even when everything else has changed. I know you are afraid of my silence. You think that when I say nothing, it means I am not listening to you. But, my child, my silence is not absence. It is the time in which I am weaving great things that your eyes cannot yet see. Just as a jeweler must place gold in the fire to remove its impurities, I allow you to pass through trials so that your heart may become purer and shine more brightly. The fire of testing is not permitted to consume you, but to refine you. Believe that in the midst of the flames, I am still there, not moving a single step away. You are not abandoned. You are being shaped, being prepared for something greater than yourself. My child, do not be afraid when everything old within you is being dismantled. Old habits, old thoughts, narrow ways of seeing, all of these are being replaced with heaven's perspective. I did not create you to live in fear, but to walk in authority, in light, and in absolute trust. The world will try to blend light with darkness, right with wrong, truth with falsehood, but I do not permit that mixture in your life. I am setting you apart so that you will not only see the light, but be the light. Separation does not diminish your worth. It makes you distinct, chosen, placed in the position of your calling. You have asked me to use you, have you not? Now I am doing exactly that, but before I can use you, I must cleanse you of everything that hinders. A vessel cannot hold new wine while it is still filled with the residue of the old. That is why I allow you to feel empty, so that I can fill you. I allow you to feel as if you have lost, so that you may realize that what I desire to give you far surpasses anything you have ever held. You cannot cling to what is temporary and at the same time receive what is eternal. I know you long for wholeness, and I myself am the source of that wholeness. Do not doubt my love when you find yourself walking unfamiliar roads. I never promised that the way would be easy, but I did promise that I would always walk with you. When you are weary, I will be your resting place. When you are weak, I will give you strength. When you stumble, I will lift you up. When you lose your way, I will light the path. You are never alone, no matter what the world makes you think. With every step you take, I go before you to prepare the way, behind you to protect you, and beside you to comfort you. My love is the shield that covers you, the fire that warms you, and the stream that soothes the thirst in your soul. Look back, and you will see my traces everywhere, in the tears I have wiped away, in the doors I have opened, in the times I rescued you from dangers you did not even know were there. That is not coincidence, but the sign of a faithful love. This love is not based on whether you do well or not, but on my very nature, the faithful one, unchanging. Even when you stumble, even when you doubt, I still love you as I did at the beginning. Nothing you do can make me love you more, and nothing can make me love you less. My love does not sway with your emotions. It is solid as a rock, steadfast through every stormy season. My child, I know you wonder why everything seems so hard to understand, why your prayers have not yet been answered, but trust that everything has its appointed time. The season of sowing and the season of harvest never arrive at once. The seeds of faith you sow today in tears will blossom tomorrow in joy. Do not be impatient when you do not yet see results. Do not think that I am doing nothing. Just as a seed sprouts in the hidden darkness of the soil, my work in you is quietly unfolding in the depths of your being. Everything I begin, I will bring to completion. Not one of my promises falls to the ground in vain. Let your heart grow still, for in the quiet you will hear my voice most clearly. I do not speak in the raging wind, nor thunder forth in the storm, but in the gentle whisper of the Holy Spirit. Learn to listen, not with your ears, but with faith. When you draw near to me, you will recognize what is my voice and what is the voice of the enemy, and when you hear me, fear will lose its grip. For I am peace, and where I am, there is no place for panic. My child, there will be days when it seems as though everything is against you, as if every door is closed. But do not forget, I do not need human doors in order to work miracles. I am the one who created every door, and I can open a way right through a wall of impossibility. The enemy may raise up walls of fear, but with one word I can shatter every chain. No power and no scheme of darkness can overcome my light. When you stand in me, you are standing on the surest ground in the universe. Therefore you do not need to be afraid. Let faith become your very breath. Let obedience become the natural reflex of your heart. That obedience does not spring from fear, but from love, a love that knows I always desire what is best for you. When you obey, you open the door to the miraculous. You are inviting me to act, inviting heaven to touch the earth, and when heaven touches earth, everything that seemed impossible becomes possible. My beloved child, I am teaching you the lesson of trust. Trust is not about understanding everything, but about taking the next step, even when you cannot see the road. I want you to learn to hold my hand without needing to know where I am leading you. For when you truly trust, you no longer fear losing your way. I do not promise that the path will be smooth, but I promise that in the end it will lead you into glory. And when you arrive there, you will look back and understand that every trial, every tear, every lonely hour was necessary, for through them you became stronger, more steadfast, and deeper in your love for me. One day you will stand on the hilltop of your own journey, look back and realize that I never once left you. You will see that every rejection, every pruning, every season of being set apart has cleared the way for you to step into fullness. You will understand that what seemed like loss was actually a gift, and what seemed like an ending was the beginning of something new. Then you will no longer fear the seasons of separation, because you will know that behind every breaking away there is always a deeper bond with me. My child, do not try to flee from this season of being set apart. Stay, and let me do my work in you. Let me heal your wounds, soften your heart, and teach you to love with a love that is unconditional. Let my presence turn pain into wisdom, loss into blessing, and trial into victory. You are not merely called to survive this season, but to emerge from it more radiant, deeper, stronger, and closer to me than ever before. And in that time, when the light within you shines out, you will become a living testimony that every Separation I allow is never meant to destroy, but to shape, so that you may be made holy, made whole, and made like me. Oh, my beloved child, listen deeply, for I still have many things to say to you, things that only a truly quiet soul can hear. Your life is not just a journey through a few brief days in this passing world, but a sacred pilgrimage written into my purpose for you before this world was formed. Every breath you take, every tear that falls, every smile that appears, has value in my plan. Do not think you are just a tiny grain of sand lost in a desert of people, for even a grain of sand reflects light when the sun shines on it. And you, a soul bearing the imprint of the Creator, were born to shine in the night, to bring warmth to frozen hearts, to awaken dreams that have fallen asleep in the dark. I send you out not with empty hands, but with a treasure within you, love, faith, courage, and the flame of the Holy Spirit burning quietly inside. Do not fear if the world does not understand you, for light always makes darkness tremble and hate. You do not need the approval of people. You need only be faithful to my call. There will be times when you feel left behind, as if I am silent in the middle of the storm. But know this, my child, in my silence, there is always the presence of power. I am not silent to abandon you, but to teach you to listen by faith and not by feelings. For if everything were obvious, you would have no need to believe. It is precisely in the darkness that faith is tested. It is in the storm that you learn to see me, even when your eyes cannot. And when you pass through, you will realize that I never left. You simply needed to learn how to sense me with your heart instead of your mind. My child, do not fear the night, for I myself am the dawn waiting for you ahead. Every time you fall, do not be ashamed, for your wounds do not make you weaker, they make you deeper and stronger. I see it all, the times you hold back your tears, the nights you cry alone, the moments you try to smile while your heart aches. All of this I remember, and nothing is wasted on your journey. You must understand that your trials are not punishments, but preparation. No one can wear a crown without walking through his or her own cross. I am forging you like a blacksmith heating iron in the fire, not to harm you, but to make you sharp, resilient, and steadfast in the storm. For if you are called to be a light for others, you must learn to endure the flame. Light can only shine when the candle dares to burn. And my child, I know that flame sometimes hurts, sometimes makes you want to give up, but that very fire is the proof that you are alive, that you are being transformed from within. When you allow me to refine you, every weakness will be removed, every limit will be stretched, and you will become like pure gold, radiant, refined, and precious in my hands. My child, you may look around and see yourself standing alone in the flow of life, but in truth, you are not alone. Every faithful soul on this earth is joined by the same invisible thread, woven together by my love and grace. When you pray, your voice joins the prayers of millions of others, forming a hymn rising to the heights of heaven. And every time you choose love instead of bitterness, forgiveness instead of revenge, perseverance instead of giving up, you fill heaven with joy. You cannot see the whole picture, but I see every stroke of the brush. Everything you do out of love, no matter how small, sends out ripples like circles on the water, touching places your feet have never walked and hearts you may never meet. I want you to remember that true light never puts itself on display. It does not need to prove anything. It only needs to be present. Let the peace within you become the testimony to the world that I live. When you forgive, you are reflecting my very nature. When you love, you are manifesting my power. When you endure and still hold on to faith, you are defeating the enemy in the most noble way. Do not think you must do something grand in order to be said to have fulfilled your calling. Sometimes, A single word of encouragement you speak, a smile you offer, or a compassionate embrace is enough to change someone's life. I did not call you to be a hero in the eyes of people, but to be a witness of my love in every circumstance, whether small or great. My beloved child, I know there are days when you wake up with a heavy heart, not wanting to take another step, no longer seeing any meaning in what you are doing. But my child, do not let fleeting emotions deceive you away from an eternal purpose. Feelings are like waves, they rise and they fall, but the truth does not change. The truth is that you are loved, chosen, and kept. The truth is that you carry a worth no one can take from you. When you no longer have the strength to pray, just whisper, "Lord, please help me," and that alone is enough to move heaven. When you feel as if you are sinking, I will be the hand that lifts you up. When you lose your way, I will be the lamp that guides your steps. When you feel useless, remember that I once used a shepherd's staff to part the sea, a rock to bring forth water, and the weak to shake mighty nations. So you too, though small in your own eyes, are still a wondrous instrument in my hand if only you will let me use you. You are not allowed to give up because you are not fighting only for yourself. Behind you are countless ones waiting for the light you carry. There are souls who will find their way home simply because they see you still standing in the storm. There are weary hearts who will regain their faith just because they see you do not surrender. You are the mirror in which they look, the reminder that even in darkness, light can still exist. Therefore, do not be afraid when you must walk through the valley of the shadow of death, for it is there, in that very valley, that I am, teaching you how to take others by the hand and say, "Take heart, we will make it through." I want you to know that my grace is not only a medicine for old wounds, but also the strength that helps you rise each new day. That grace is like a river that never stops flowing, it never runs dry. As soon as you step into it, you are washed, renewed, and filled with life again. Do not try to live by your own strength, because you cannot. Instead, let my grace cover you like rain, soaking into dry ground, so that the barren places of your soul may blossom once more. When you learn to lean wholly on me, you will realize that the burden no longer feels as heavy as before, because I am carrying it with you. You will see that what once terrified you now becomes the very opportunity to witness a miracle. My child, learn to rest in me. The world teaches you that you must always run, always strive, always prove yourself. But I say to you, be still and know that I am God. In that stillness, you will hear my gentle voice telling you that you do not need to do anything more to be loved, for my love has been complete from the very beginning. When you learn to rest in grace, you will find again the peace that the world cannot give. Then everything you do will no longer flow from anxious striving, but from gratitude and love. And finally, my beloved child, remember that I am not only the one who is with you, but also the one who lives in you. When you speak, I speak through you. When you touch someone, I touch them through you. When you love, it is truly I who am loving through you. So live with the awareness that every action, every word, every thought of yours is a way I reveal myself to the world. You are the poem I write in this life, the song I sing in the rush of the crowd, the lamp I set on a stand, so that the world may know that darkness can never overcome the light. Go now, my child. Carry faith in your heart, light in your eyes, and kindness in your hands. Live as one who knows they are deeply loved and that nothing can separate you from that love. Wherever you go, whatever storms may surround you, remember, I have gone before you, I am walking with you, and I will be waiting for you at the end of the road, where glory and eternal peace await. Keep moving forward not because you are strong, but because I am in you, and that is a strength nothing can defeat. Tonight, I am still here, seated in the vast silence of the universe, seeing your heart beating with faint and weary rhythms, carrying fears, exhaustion, and confusions you do not even dare to name. You think I am silent, but my child, it is precisely in that silence that I am at work. It is in that seemingly empty pause that I am planting and tending. It is in the night that appears so meaningless that I am performing miracles. You do not see it, but I am in every breath you take. You do not hear it, but every tear you shed is being kept by me. I have not abandoned you in the dark. I am digging deep into your soul, stripping away layers of pride, walls of defense, and the masks you have worn to hide your vulnerability. For only when you are bare and honest, when you allow yourself to be small, can I pour my love into you without measure. You often think that, in order for me to love you, you must do something great, something flawless, something worthy of praise. But my child, I do not love you because of what you can do. I love you because you are mine. My love does not arrive after success, nor does it vanish when you fail. It is like a ceaseless current. No matter how far you wander, it still comes to wash the dust of the world from your soul. Tonight, I see you with your head bowed in weariness, surrounded by unanswered questions, unfinished dreams, and once shattered faith. But my child, it is right there, in that place where you think you have lost everything, that I am building again from the ground up. For sometimes I must allow what is old and fragile to collapse so that a new foundation can be laid, stronger and more secure. Remember, not a single tear is meaningless. Not a single pain will I leave without purpose. You see only a fragment, but I see the entire picture. I will not let your wounds bleed forever. I will make each one a place where light can shine through. You once asked, why does God let me walk through suffering? And tonight I answer you, because I want you to become stronger, deeper, and more compassionate. Only those who have stumbled truly know how to lift others up. Only those who have been broken truly know what healing means. My child, it is in suffering that you are being shaped, like clay in the hands of the potter. Even when you feel crushed, even when you pass through the fire, you are becoming the beautiful form I intended from the beginning. I want you to understand that every failure is not a full stop, but a bend in the road, bringing you back onto the right path. Every time you fall is not a shame, but an opportunity to learn how to take my hand. You do not need to prove your worth to the world, because your worth was established the moment I breathed the first breath of life into you. When the world says you are not enough, I say, you are more than enough in my love. When people leave you, I remain, without taking a single step away. When you are misunderstood, wounded, and pushed aside, I am the place where you can always return. I see those nights when you lie there in silence, eyes fixed on the ceiling, your heart heavy. You say nothing, but I understand every scattered thought inside you. You whisper, I cannot go on. But my child, when you think you have reached your limit, that is exactly where I begin. My power is made perfect in your weakness. Let me lift you up, let me fight for you. You do not have to strain yourself any longer. Just take my hand, and you will know that you have never been alone in this battle. Whenever you tremble, I will be your support. Whenever you are afraid, I will be your refuge. Whenever you are confused, I will be the light that shows you the way. Remember, the peace I give you is not the quietness that comes from having no trials, but the steadiness of heart in the very midst of the storm. You may be standing in the middle of crashing waves, yet your soul is not swept away, because you know that the one who lives in you is greater than anything that rises up against you. That peace does not come from favorable circumstances, but from the absolute trust that I am in control of all things. When you let go so that I may take hold, you will begin to see that what once seemed random is actually being arranged perfectly within my plan for you. My child, listen to my voice and do not let the noise of this world drown me out. I do not speak in the clamor, I speak in the quiet. Learn to be still in your mind, for it is in that very stillness that you will hear the deepest things. My gentle, yet all-powerful whisper, every word I sow into you is a seed of life. When you hold it in your heart by faith, it will take deep root and blossom at the appointed time. You do not need to force everything to happen at once. Every matter has its own season. A season to sow, a season to reap, and a season to wait. And in that season of waiting, I am at work, silently, yet surely. Do not be afraid when you do not understand. You do not need to understand everything. You only need to believe. For if you could already see it all, where would faith be? It is precisely in what has not yet been seen that your faith is forged. It is precisely in what your mind cannot yet grasp that your trust is strengthened. And it is when you surrender everything into my hands that you will know what true freedom is. No longer bound by the need to control, no longer chained by fear, but at rest like a bird soaring in the vast sky of grace. You often ask, how do I know if I am on the right path? I say to you, look at the peace within your heart. If you sense peace, that is my sign. If your heart is troubled, that is my gentle warning that you are drifting off course. I do not use thunder and lightning to warn you. I use the small stirring within your heart to remind you. Trust that inner witness, for my Spirit is living in you. He is never silent when you are in need of guidance. Dare to let go, my child. There are doors I have closed in your life, not to punish you, but to protect you. There are people I have removed from your journey, not because they are evil, but because your path has turned in another direction. There are things you have lost, not because you are unworthy, but because I am preparing something better, greater, and more fitting for you. You cannot rise high if you keep clinging to what weighs you down. Letting go is not losing. Letting go is believing that my hand is strong enough to carry you. Do you know how proud I am of you? Though you are still weak and still stumble, I see in you a heart that is trying, a soul that is reaching for the light. Every time you lift your eyes to me in the midst of pain, heaven shines with yet another star. You do not need to be a hero. You only need to be a trusting child. I will take care of the rest. Just keep walking, even if it is only a small step of faith. I will make the ground beneath your feet firm. I do not promise that you will never face storms, but I promise that I will be in the boat with you. I do not promise that you will never cry, but I promise that every tear you shed will be exchanged for joy. I do not promise that you will always understand, but I promise that you will always be loved. My love is not conditioned by time or circumstance. It surpasses every failure and every weakness. When you collapse, I do not change. When you go astray, I still seek you. When you close your heart, I still wait patiently for you. You will see that after every long night comes the dawn. After every pain comes a lesson. After every breaking comes an opportunity to be made new. And when you look back, you will understand that every step, every trial, every tear was a perfect piece in the pattern that led you to where you were meant to be. You will realize that nothing is wasted when it is placed in my hands. Even your mistakes I can still use to bring forth good. So do not fear, my child. Do not let the darkness discourage you. Though the night may be thick, the light is still within you. Though the world may change, my love for you does not change. Though others may turn their backs, I still turn my face toward you. Keep on walking, for your journey is not yet over. I am still writing the story of your life, and the next chapter will be more radiant than anything you have yet dared to dream. Believe that tomorrow, when you open your eyes, the first light streaming through your window will be, to my reminder to you, you are still loved. Let my peace remain in you like a river that never runs dry, like a warm breath wrapping gently around your soul. You do not need to do anything to deserve this love. You need only to receive it. And as you allow this love to flood your heart, you will find yourself changed. no longer afraid, no longer restless, but brimming with life, like a flower in full bloom after a long, healing rain. You are my light, my song in the night, the living proof that darkness cannot triumph. Though you are small, I will use you for great things. Though you are weak, my strength will be made perfect in you. Though you have been pushed to the margins, I will set you in the very place where light is most needed. For I do not look at you with the eyes of this world, I look at you through the heart of the Creator. You are a work still being perfected, a beloved child whom I cherish. Tonight, rest in my arms. Do not resist me any longer. Let the tears fall if they must, for I will catch each one. Let your heart soften, for I will heal it. And when the dawn breaks, you will rise different from before, no longer heavy, no longer afraid, but filled with faith and hope. You will walk forward, steady and bright, because you know you belong to me, and nothing in this world can separate you from my love, a love eternal, unchanging, deep, and tender. A love that even now, this very night, I am pouring into you, drop by drop. O my beloved child, I now bring this part of my word to a close, with a sacred promise, not an empty promise like those of men, but a pledge that flows from the very heart of the one who created the universe and every beat within your chest. If tonight, in the stillness of your soul, you choose to obey me, you will see my mighty hand at work in your tomorrow. If you do not only listen, but also walk in the way I show you, you will witness the traps of the enemy shatter before your eyes, for I am the one who goes before you to prepare the way. When you choose to believe in what you have not yet seen, when your faith rises above your understanding, you will touch what I have already prepared, blessings that only faithful hearts can receive. My child, I am the faithful one. I do not change like shifting shadows. I do not promise and forget. I do not speak and then withdraw my word. I am the truth, and every word that goes forth from my mouth is anchored in eternity. I am your Father, not in a symbolic sense, but in the very reality of unchanging love. I am not a distant king, but a father who bends down to look at you, wiping away your tears with my own hand. When you tremble, I hold you. When you lose your way, I seek you. When you fall into despair, I whisper to remind you that you are never alone. I am the one who protects you, not only with supernatural power, but with the unceasing nearness of my presence. I surround you with light. I keep you within my sheltering embrace. And though darkness may gather around you, it cannot pierce the place where I stand with you. No slander, no hidden force, no secret power can touch the soul I have called by name and redeemed at the price of my own blood. I am the one who leads you, who goes before you on the rough road, placing my steps upon every stone so that your feet will not stumble. When you stand at the crossroads of choice, I will whisper within your heart, "This is the way, walk in it." When you are wrapped in fog and uncertainty, I will be the light that shows the direction. When you are weak, I will become strength within you. And when you can no longer walk on your own, I will carry you in my loving arms, because this journey is not only about you coming all the way to me, but about me walking every step with you. I am the one who rescues you, not only from dangers on the outside, but from the storms within. I set you free from the chains of sin, from the burdens of the past, from the voices that make you doubt your own worth. I have not come to condemn, but to make you new. I remove the layers of fear that have covered you, so you can breathe freely in the air of grace. When you find yourself falling, I am the hand that catches you. When you are sinking, I am the current that lifts you up. When you lose your faith, I am the source of life that breathes warmth back into your heart. I am your God, not a distant deity, but the one present in every moment you breathe. I am the beginning and the end, the flame in your heart, the pulse in every cell, the voice in the stillness, the comfort when you are weary. I am the one who remains faithful even when you change, who continues to love even when you forget, who waits even when you wander far. Everything I speak to you today, carve it into your soul, for these are not words to be read and passed by, but seeds to be sown into your life, so that day by day they may sprout into light and strength. Thank you. Yes, it is I who thank you for stopping in the midst of the noise of this world to listen to my gentle voice. You have opened your heart, and in that very moment I have come to dwell there. You cannot imagine the joy in heaven when you turn your ear toward me, for every moment you listen is one more step back toward your origin. Hold fast to these words as you would hold a flame in your hand through a long night. Do not let the winds of life blow it out. Do not let doubt extinguish it. Each morning, let my words resound in your mind, reminding you that you do not walk alone. Walk in the message I give you, not only as one who carries words, but as the living light of those words. When you live according to what I speak, you do not only change yourself, you also stir and transform the world around you. Every act of kindness you do, every word of forgiveness you speak, every tear you shed in faith, all of it becomes a river of grace flowing outward. You are the living testimony of the Creator's love. Let others see me through your eyes, hear me through your words, and feel me through the way you love them. And when night falls again, when trials surround you once more, remember this promise: if you keep your heart in me, you will never be abandoned. I will renew your strength like an eagle soaring on the wind. I will show you flowers blooming in the desert, water flowing in the wilderness, light breaking forth in the deepest night. For I am not only the God of great miracles, but also the God of every ordinary breath within you. My child, rest in this peace, for I am here, now and forever. Now, turn your heart toward me, open your soul like a thirsty field longing for rain, and lift to me your most sincere prayer, the sigh that rises from the deepest place within you. Almighty God, I bow before your majesty and holiness. I know that you are calling me out of what is old, out of all that makes my soul stagnant. Though my heart sometimes trembles for fear of being alone, I choose to believe that you are holding my hand in the night. Please set ablaze within me the fire of trust, so that I will not doubt your will, even when I do not yet understand the path you are leading me on. Help me learn to stand firm in separation, to be strong in being set apart, and to rejoice in obedience. Teach me to see that when the old things collapse, it is you who are building a new and stronger foundation. Lord, I give my soul to you. Please use me in whatever way you desire. Loving Father, I sense your hand, shaping and refining me through every season of trial. There are times I weep, times I want to give up, yet you have never abandoned me. Please wash my heart clean of everything that hinders, of all fear, of the binding memories that keep me from rising on wings. Father, help me to see trials as gifts, to see being set apart as a blessing. Fill me with your Holy Spirit so that I may love as you love, believe as you believe, and live as you live. Faithful God, I thank you that in the midst of all the changes of this life, you alone remain unchanged. When I am weak, you become my strength. When I am afraid, you are my peace. When I am lost, you are my light. Please fasten my soul to you, as a branch is joined to the vine. Though the world around me may rage and roar, I still desire to stand firm in your love. Help me not to seek the approval of people, but only the smile on your face. I believe that everything you allow is born of love, and I choose to obey even when my heart does not yet understand. Lord Jesus, I know you are leading me into a season of being set apart, a journey where only you and I walk together. I do not want to run away, even though my heart sometimes longs to return to what is familiar. Help me to dare to walk through my fears and step into the new things you have prepared. Let me recognize your voice in the wind, see your footprints in the barren desert. I long to be dissolved in your will, so that when the world looks at me, they see only you in me. Gentle Holy Spirit, please come and dwell within my soul, turning my loneliness into a place of encounter with God. Teach me to hear your whisper amid the noise, to discern what is true among so many false things. Lead me step by step, and help me not to fear walking alone, knowing that you yourself are my companion. When I am weary, Holy Spirit, breathe a fresh breath of life into me, that I may be revived in faith and hope. Almighty God, from the depths of my heart, I offer you my thanksgiving. Thank you for not letting me sink into my comfort zone, but drawing me out so that I may grow. Thank you for every time you said no, for I know those very things have protected me from deeper harm. I thank you for the seasons of loneliness, for it is in loneliness that I have learned to hear your voice. I thank you for the tears, for through them I have come to understand what true healing is. Beloved Father, I am grateful for your unchanging kindness. Even when I am weak, you patiently wait for me. Even when I stumble, you stretch out your hand to lift me up. I thank you for every step by which you have led me, for every door you have closed, for every storm you have commanded to be still. All that has happened bears the mark of your love. Please receive from me this sincere thanksgiving as incense rising before your throne. Dear Lord Jesus, I bow in gratitude, for the love you have for me surpasses all understanding. Thank you for choosing me even when I am unworthy. Thank you for remaining when others walk away. Thank you for turning my wounds into testimonies of grace. I vow to live the rest of my life only to honor you, that your light may shine through everything I do and every word I speak. Please receive this gratitude as an offering laid before your holy throne. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we can build a strong and vibrant community of faith.